Donna is the most productive sales associate in Broker Dan's office. Dan's office is located close to the downtown area, several miles from Donna's home. Donna feels she can be even more productive if she did not have to lose so much time traveling to and from downtown, so she rents an office closer to home. Donna may work from this office if A. She first obtains an occupational license from the city. B. She mails the proper form and proper fee to the DBPR. C. Dan obtains a branch office license. D. Dan gives his permission.
The correct answer is C. Dan obtains a branch office license. A sales associate must be registered either from the broker's main or a branch office, may never have an office separate from the broker.
Andy is a licensed sales associate with Broker Bill. Without Broker Bill's knowledge or permission, Andy has been collecting rents and operating a property management service. If the DBPR should receive an unsigned complaint regarding Andy's actions, A. Andy is probably in violation of the real estate license law and an appropriate action may be taken. B. Andy's license will be revoked for concealment and fraud. C. The FREC will only issue a reprimand if the complaint is unsigned. D. The DBPR can do nothing since it was an anonymous complaint.
The correct answer is A. Andy is probably in violation of the real estate license law and an appropriate action may be taken. The DBPR may investigate anonymous complaints if alleged violations of the law are substantial.
An inactive broker in a real estate brokerage corporation has prepared all real estate advertisements for the firm for the past year. The inactive broker can legally write the ads, A. Only if they are placed in out-of-state publications. B. Under the supervision and direction of the active broker. C. With the assistance of a licensed sales associate. D. If the actively licensed broker places them with the publisher.
The correct answer is B. Under the supervision and direction of the active broker. A brokerage corporation must have at least one active broker, and all real estate advertising is legally under the direction and supervision of the employing broker.
Which of the following can be formed in perpetuity? A. Sole proprietorship. B. Limited partnership. C. Joint adventure. D. Corporation.
The correct answer is D. Corporation. A corporation is the only business form that can be created in perpetuity. The life of a corporation, either perpetual or limited, is stated in the corporate charter.
Mike has just been told that he must move to Chicago to take over a new position. Mike calls his friend Alan, who has an inactive broker's license, and asks him if he can help him sell his home. Which statement is correct? A. Alan can help sell the home, but cannot be compensated. B. Alan can be paid a commission if he is an attorney. C. Since Alan is a broker, he may be compensated. D. Alan can be compensated by an active broker.
The correct answer is A. Alan can help sell the home, but cannot be compensated in any way. An inactive individual may not be compensated for a service of real estate, and an attorney would have to hold an active real estate license to be compensated for helping to sell the property.
Patty listed her home with broker Fred. Before leaving town to travel to Europe, she gave Fred full authority to act on her behalf. If Fred should receive a full price offer before Patty returns, A. Fred can accept the offer only if Patty approves the terms. B. Patty must come back to close the transaction. C. Fred can accept the offer and sign any documents necessary to complete the sale of Patty's home. D. Fred can accept the offer, but Patty's attorney must close the sale.
The correct answer is C. Fred can accept the offer and sign any documents necessary to complete the sale of Patty's home. A power of attorney gives Fred full authority to act for Patty.
Sales associate Alfred has a listing on a home owned by Charlie, who was anxious to sell. Alfred was successful in obtaining a full-price, all-cash offer on Charlie's home within a few days. Charlie was excited over Alfred's success and offered him a bonus of $500, which applies. A. Alfred must share the $500 with his broker to avoid a violation of law. B. Alfred can accept the $500 from his broker without violating the real estate license law. C. If Alfred's broker pays him his normal commission, he can legally accept the $500. D. Alfred can accept the $500 from Charlie if his broker deducts expenses incurred in the sale.
The correct answer is B. Alfred can accept the $500 from his broker without violating the real estate license law. A licensed sales associate may be compensated only by his or her registered employer.
If both the seller and the buyer compensate a broker without their mutual knowledge and consent, it is considered to be A. Fraud, B. A secret profit, C. An illegal commission, D. An overage.
The correct answer is C. An illegal commission. Fraud is not specific enough since all of these activities are fraudulent.
Which of the following statements is correct if a broker were to allow a sales associate to deal directly with the broker's principal? A. The broker has delegated the fiduciary duties to the sales associate. B. The sales associate has the same fiduciary duties to the principal as the broker. C. The sales associate has fiduciary duties to the broker and an agency relationship with the broker's principal. D. All of the above.
The correct answer is B. The sales associate has the same fiduciary duties to the principal as the broker. Fiduciary duties may not be delegated, and a sales associate is never an agent of the broker's principal.
In which of the following cases would fraud not occur? A. When there was no intent to defraud. B. When no damage or loss occurred. C. If the licensee made restitution. D. None of the above.
The correct answer is D. None of the above. Fraud may occur when there was no intent, loss or damage, and restitution is not a defense against a charge of fraud.
3 persons, 2 of whom have no real estate license, form a real estate brokerage partnership. Clarence, the third member, is an actively licensed broker. If Clarence allows his license to expire, A. The partnership license will be suspended until Clarence applies for a reissue. B. The licenses of all sales associates registered with the firm will be automatically inactive. C. The licenses of all persons registered with the firm will be suspended until Clarence requests renewal of his license. D. Clarence cannot perform services of real estate, but other licensees in the firm may continue to operate.
The correct answer is B. The licenses of all sales associates registered with the firm will be automatically inactive. The partnership has 14 calendar days to replace the only active broker. During this time, business in process may continue, but no new business may be conducted.
Investigation is an exercise of what power? A. Executive. B. Quasi-judicial. C. Quasi-legislative. D. Administrative.
The correct answer is A. Executive.
An investigator for the DBPR has no authority to A. Obtain a subpoena issued by the DBPR. B. Investigate the activities of unlicensed individuals who are operating in violation of the real estate license law. C. Express an opinion with respect to the investigation. D. Audit of brokers' escrow records and files.
The correct answer is C. Express an opinion with respect to the investigation.
Which of the following statements would be true if three people were to form a partnership to sell real estate for other people? A. The partnership must be registered with the DBPR and all partners must be licensed as active brokers. B. If the partners share the profits in proportion to their ownership interests, none are required to be licensed. C. The general partner must be an actively licensed broker and the other partners are limited partners. D. Only one of the partners must be licensed as an active broker.
The correct answer is D. Only one of the partners must be licensed as an active broker. A partnership formed to sell for other people is a brokerage partnership requiring at least one partner to be an actively licensed broker.
Jan received an offer on Larry's home listed with Jan's broker, Al. Al was out of town at the time, so Jan told the buyer she could hold the post-dated check she received as a deposit for the 10 days needed to clear the check. 10 days later, Jan delivered the check to Al, who promptly deposited the check, and it cleared the bank. Which of the following statements is most correct? A. Jan violated the real estate license law because she did not immediately give the check to Al. B. There was no violation of the law since Jan told the broker she would hold the check. C. Jan should have deposited the check into her personal escrow account on the date received. D. Since Jan had agreed to hold the check and it cleared when deposited, there was no violation.
The correct answer is A. Jan violated the real estate license law because she did not immediately give the check to Al. A sales associate must immediately deliver any deposit to his or her registered employer.
If each of the 5 members in a brokerage partnership will be active in selling, which of the following statements best applies? A. At least one of the members must be an active broker. B. The partnership must be registered and all members must be active brokers. C. One of the general partners must be an active broker and the others may be either limited or general partners. D. One of the general partners and one of the limited partners must be active brokers.
The correct answer is B. The partnership must be registered and all members must be active brokers, since all members of the partnership will be active in selling.
A violation of the real estate license law by a broker or sales associate may result in A. Probation or reprimand. B. Suspension or revocation. C. A fine and imprisonment. D. All of the above.
The correct answer is D. All of the above. The FREC may reprimand, suspend, revoke, or place a licensee on probation. The Commission may not imprison anyone. However, a criminal court may impose imprisonment as a penalty for violation of law.
What may a broker do in the event a dispute arises concerning the amount of or the time for payment of a commission due? A. Retain the entire amount of the buyer's deposit in escrow until the dispute is settled. B. Withdraw the amount of his or her claim from the escrow account and refund the difference to the buyer. C. Retain the amount of his or her claim in the escrow account until the dispute is settled. D. Turn the deposit over to the Florida Real Estate Commission and ask it to disperse the funds.
The correct answer is C. Retain the amount of his or her claim in the escrow account until the dispute is settled.
Sales Associate Betty and Sales Associate Joan are both registered with broker Mabel. Betty and Joan work together on a listing and sale, agreeing to share the expenses and commission. When the sale closed, broker Mabel paid Betty the listing and sales commission, not knowing of the arrangement between Betty and Joan. Betty promptly shared her commission with Joan as they had agreed. Based on this information, which of the following is true? A. Since the commission was paid to Mabel, no violation occurred. B. Betty and Joan are both in violation of the license law. C. Betty could retain her share of the commission, but Joan violated the license law. D. The license law was not violated if Betty later gave her share of the commission to Joan.
The correct answer is B. Betty and Joan are both in violation of the license law. The law requires a sales associate to only be compensated by his or her registered employer. Sales associates may not share commissions among themselves.
If a broker should pass away before a sales associate has been paid a commission due, what recourse does the sales associate have? A. Sue the buyer. B. Sue the seller. C. Sue the estate of the deceased broker. D. Petition the real estate recovery fund.
The correct answer is C. Sue the estate of the deceased broker.
If a broker wishes to reopen a branch office in the same location that had been closed earlier, which of the following statements best applies? A. If it is to be reopened during the same license period, the broker may do so by applying for a reissue without any additional fee. B. The broker must request a license renewal on proper form and with the proper fee. C. The license expired when the branch office was closed, so a new license and fee will be required to reopen. D. The broker may reopen during the same license period as long as he documents the closing and opening dates.
The correct answer is A. If it is to be reopened during the same license period, the broker may do so by applying for a reissue without additional fee.
Fiduciary duties owed by a broker to his or her principal include A. Loyalty. B. Obedience. C. Due diligence. D. All of the above.
The correct answer is D. All of the above.
Broker Paul's sales associate Janice sells property listed by broker Wanda. Which of the following statements is incorrect regarding a binder deposit given to sales associate Janice? A. Either broker Paul or broker Wanda could hold the deposit. B. Broker Paul could retain the deposit in his escrow account and deliver it at closing. C. Broker Wanda could pay Janice her commission at closing. D. Broker Wanda is entitled to a portion of the sales commission.
The correct answer is C. Broker Wanda could pay Janice her commission at closing. A sales associate can only be paid by his or her registered employer.
An actively licensed broker in Florida is allowed to A. Prepare a deed or conveyance. B. Advise a client to sign a deed. C. Prepare a commercial lease. D. Obligate his or her principal to a contract.
The correct answer is B. Advise a client to sign a deed. The preparation of deeds or commercial leases would be considered the practice of law. Brokers may fill in the blanks on specified residential lease forms approved by the Florida Supreme Court. A power of attorney would be required for a broker to obligate his or her principal to a contract.
With regard to an interest-bearing escrow account, A. The written agreement of the buyer and seller are required. B. The disposition of the interest is determined by agreement of the seller and buyer. C. Interest-bearing escrow accounts are not allowed. D. Both A and B are correct.
The correct answer is D. Both A and B are correct. A broker may not place a deposit in an interest-bearing escrow account without the written agreement of the parties. The disposition of the interest must be determined by agreement of buyer and seller.
George, who holds both an active real estate broker's license and a Florida mortgage broker's license, has had his mortgage broker's license revoked. What action would the FREC take if this revocation were discovered? A. The FREC will automatically revoke George's license. B. George must show cause why the FREC should take no action. C. The FREC will take no action since this revocation is not related to the real estate license law. D. The FREC will suspend George's license for an indefinite period of time.
The correct answer is B. George must show cause why the Commission should take no action.
Which of the following statements is correct? A. A broker may have an escrow account in any federally insured institution. B. Brokers are required to have an escrow account. C. Escrow funds must be out of reach of all of the interested parties. D. Binder deposits cannot be held in an interest-bearing escrow account.
The correct answer is C. Escrow funds must be out of reach of all interested parties. A broker is not required to have an escrow account. However, if one is maintained, the account must be in an appropriate institution in Florida. Interest-bearing accounts are permitted.
Who is the broker's customer? A. The buyer. B. The seller. C. The party with whom the broker hopes to be successful in accomplishing the object of his or her employment. D. The party with whom the broker has fiduciary duties.
The correct answer is C. The party with whom the broker hopes to be successful in accomplishing the object of his or her employment. A buyer or seller may be the broker's customer. A broker owes fiduciary duties only to a principal.
An inactive broker who is an officer in a real estate brokerage corporation may A. Assist a sales associate in structuring an offer for a customer. B. Provide management expertise. C. Hold a license as a broker associate with the corporation. D. Interview prospective sales associates wishing to affiliate with the firm.
The correct answer is B. Provide management expertise. Inactive brokers in a brokerage corporation may not assist in structuring an offer or interview prospective sales associates. They may provide management expertise. A licensee may not be registered in more than one status at a time.
An active real estate broker in Florida, A. must have an office which is registered with the DBPR. B. May also be registered as a broker associate with a different firm. C. Must employ at least one sales associate or broker associate. D. Cannot have his office in his or her home.
The correct answer is A. Must have an office which is registered with the DBPR.
Art is a licensed real estate sales associate registered with broker Carroll, who is out of town for the next few days. Art receives an oral offer on a listing at the full listed price and terms. Before the offer can be presented, a written offer, $5,000 less than the oral offer, is received, accompanied by a substantial deposit. Art should A. Wait for Carroll to return and present both offers. B. Submit only the full price offer to the property owner. C. Immediately submit both offers to the owner. D. Convince the first offeror to put the offer in writing and present both offers.
The correct answer is C. Immediately submit both offers to the owner. Any and all offers must be submitted, regardless of form, amount, or whether or not they are accompanied by an earnest money deposit.
Whether an act is considered to be fraudulent or not may depend upon A. The broker's knowledge of law, B. The relationship of the parties, C. The experience of the seller and buyer, D. The amount of loss or damage.
The correct answer is B. The relationship of the parties. Agency relationships involve trust and confidence, while an arm's length relationship is adversarial. An act that is acceptable between a buyer and seller may be fraudulent when conducted by a licensee.
A broker who provides limited representation to the seller and the buyer in the same real estate transaction, A, is a dual agent and is in violation of the law. B, is a transaction broker. C, may collect a commission from each party with the knowledge and consent of both parties. D, both B and C.
The correct answer is D, both B and C. A broker that provides limited representation to both parties is a transaction broker. Brokers may collect a commission from both parties with their mutual knowledge and consent.
Broker Tina has become interested in buying one of her own listed properties. Which statement is most correct? A. Tina must divest herself of her identity as a broker. B. The parties must deal with each other at arm's length. C. Tina must withdraw and have the owner obtain the services of another broker. D. A broker cannot buy listed property without the approval of the FREC.
The correct answer is A. Tina must divest herself of her identity as a broker.
A broker has fiduciary duties because A. The broker is responsible to the principal for his or her actions. B. All brokers must comply with a code of ethics. C. The broker is bound by his or her contract with the customer. D. Of membership in the local board of realtors.
The correct answer is A. The broker is responsible to the principal for his or her actions. Fiduciary duties are imposed by law and are created by an agency relationship between the broker and principal.
Broker Jack listed a vacant commercial site for $70,000 as a single agent representing the seller. A potential buyer inquires about the property and tells Jack they are also interested in buying the parcel adjacent to Jack's listing to build a new retail center. The following day, the buyer returns and makes an offer on Jack's listing. Jack should A. Recommend that the offer be refused and suggest the listing price be increased. B. Present the offer and disclose the buyer's intentions to the seller. C. Purchase the property himself in anticipation of the retail center being built. D. Check with the local building department to be sure the retail center would be permitted.
The correct answer is B. Present the offer and disclose the buyer's intentions to the seller. A broker must disclose any fact, report, or rumor to the principal that may influence the principal's decision.
Broker Norman showed Mr. and Mrs. Adams a home on May 12th. They were not impressed with Norman's presentation and decided not to buy at that time. On July 10th, Broker Ted, who had shown them other homes earlier, contacted them. Ted made an appointment and took Mr. and Mrs. Adams to the home Norman had shown them on May 12th. They were impressed with Ted's presentation and bought the home. Which applies? A. Broker Norman showed the home first and is entitled to the entire commission. B. The brokers will be required to share the commission. C. Broker Norman will probably have to sue Broker Ted for a portion of the commission. D. Broker Ted is the procuring cause of sale and is entitled to all of the commission.
The correct answer is D. Broker Ted is the procuring cause of sale, is entitled to all of the commission.
Broker Charlie listed a property for $80,000. A few weeks later, a buyer offered $90,000 for the property. Charlie called the owner and arranged to buy the property for the listed price, less his commission of 10%, and resold it to the buyer for $90,000. The broker could be charged with A. An overage, B. Conversion, C. Conspiracy, D. An illegal commission.
The correct answer is A. An overage. An overage results when a broker fraudulently manipulates a sale in order to make more than his or her normal commission. The broker should present any and all offers.
A broker's principal is the A. Buyer, B. Seller, C. Party the broker represents as a single agent. D. Party that compensates the broker.
The correct answer is C. Party the broker represents as a single agent. Compensation does not create agency. A broker may be compensated by either party in a transaction.
When a sales associate is registered with a real estate brokerage corporation, he or she, A, may be an officer or director of the corporation, B, may be a stockholder in the corporation, C, may become an officer or director only if he or she requests an inactive status, D, all of the above.
The correct answer is B, may be a stockholder in the corporation. A sales associate may not be an officer or director in a real estate brokerage corporation, but may own all or part of the stock in the firm.
If a broker obtains confidential information from his or her principal, the information, A, cannot be disclosed until after the agency relationship has ended. B, cannot be disclosed until after the transaction has been completed. C, can be used by the broker for his or her own benefit if it does not work as a disadvantage to the principal. D, must be disclosed to all prospective buyers.
The correct answer is C, can be used by the broker for his or her own benefit if it does not work a disadvantage to the principal. Although confidential information obtained in a fiduciary relationship remains with the broker for life, it can be used by the broker for his or her own benefit if no harm comes to the principal by its use. Defects or other material facts about the property are not confidential and must be disclosed to both parties.
Broker Wayne negotiated the sale of property listed by broker Margie. The total commission due on the transaction was $10,000, which Margie collected at closing. If Margie refuses to pay broker Wayne his share of the commission, she could be charged with A. Larceny, B. Failure to account and deliver, C. Culpable negligence, D. Embezzlement.
The correct answer is B. Failure to account and deliver. When a broker is in possession of money or property belonging to another, and in the normal course of business, either cannot or will not produce the money or property, the broker may be charged with failure to account and deliver.
When a broker advertises listed property and fails to include his or her registered name, A. It is a blind ad. B. It is legal if the public can discern it to be an ad placed by a licensed broker. C. It is a legal advertisement if the broker's telephone number is included. D. The advertisement is legal if both the broker's address and phone number are included.
The correct answer is A. It's a blind ad. The registered name of the brokerage firm must be included in all advertising. A licensee's name is insufficient if it is not the registered name of the brokerage.
For a broker's office to be in accordance with the law, A. It must consist of at least one enclosed room. B. There must be a sign on or about the entrance. C. It can be in the broker's home if not in violation of local zoning ordinances. D. All of the above.
The correct answer is D. All of the above.
The federal law requiring lenders to inform borrowers of all settlement charges when the loan is being made by a federally regulated lender is the A. Fair Housing Act, B. Consumer Credit Cost Disclosure Act, C. Real Estate Settlement and Procedures Act, D. Interstate Land Full Disclosure Act.
The correct answer is C. Real Estate Settlement and Procedures Act.
Sales Associate George and Sales Associate Andy, who are licensed with broker Alice, conspire to defraud customer Larry. If George and Andy perpetrate the fraud against Larry, but broker Alice is unaware of the scheme, which of the following is true? A. George and Andy will be liable in a civil action, but are not subject to discipline by the Commission. B. George and Andy would not be liable unless Alice was aware of the scheme. C. Alice would be liable in a civil action, but would not be subject to discipline by the Commission unless she knew of or took part in the fraud. D. Neither Alice, George, nor Andy is liable if no damages resulted from the scheme.
The correct answer is C. Alice would be liable in a civil action, but would not be subject to discipline by the Commission unless she knew of or took part in the fraud. A broker is always liable in a civil action for acts of his or her sales associates. The broker would have to know of or participate in the act to be liable in a criminal action, and would not be subject to discipline by the Commission if he or she were providing proper training and supervision.
Broker Ben operates a large office with several sales associates. To simplify the handling of escrow deposits, Broker Ben instructs the sales associates to promptly deliver all deposits to the office secretary. Ben then instructs the secretary to accumulate the deposits and to take them to the bank on her way home each Friday afternoon. Based on this information, which of the following is true? A. Unlicensed persons are not allowed to make deposits into an escrow account. B. Broker Ben is in violation of the real estate license law. C. Sales associates must make deposits themselves into the escrow account. D. As long as the deposits are delivered to the secretary promptly, there is no violation.
The correct answer is B. Broker Ben is in violation of the real estate license law. Deposits must be immediately placed into an escrow account. The current rules of the Commission require sales associates to deliver deposits to the broker within 1 business day following receipt. The broker is required to place the deposit into escrow no more than 3 business days following the day the deposit is received by the sales associate. Saturdays, Sundays, and holidays are not considered business days.
During an IRS audit of a broker's tax return, it was discovered that the broker had failed to report a referral fee received from a Chicago broker. The broker claimed it was an oversight and promptly filed an amended return and paid a late fee and penalty. Which statement regarding this situation is correct? A. The broker's license will be revoked for fraudulent conduct. B. The Commission will impose a fine and place the broker on probation. C. The FREC is not required to take any action. D. The broker's license will be suspended for 6 months.
The correct answer is C. The FREC is not required to take any action. Disciplinary action is not mandatory if, in the opinion of the Commission, the actions of the broker do not constitute a danger to the public health, safety, or welfare.
An act involving which of the following may be the basis for a charge of discrimination based on the Civil Rights Act of 1866? A. Race. B. Age and familial status. C. Religion, sex, color, or national origin. D. Any of the above.
The correct answer is A. Race. The Civil Rights Act of 1866 covers only acts based on racial considerations.
Broker John was arrested in Mississippi for transporting a controlled substance. Broker John entered a plea of nolo contendere and agreed to cooperate with the authorities by providing the names of his accomplices. If the FREC discovers the investigation of Broker John's activities prior to his trial, which of the following statements would be correct? A. Broker John's license must be revoked, since John is guilty of a felony. B. The Commission may take action against Broker John's license, whether John is found guilty or not. C. Since Broker John was arrested in Mississippi, the Commission has no jurisdiction. D. Until Broker John has been convicted, the FREC can take no action.
The correct answer is B. The Commission may take action against Broker John's license whether John is found guilty or not. A plea of nolo contendere is considered by the Commission to be an admission of guilt, and an action may be taken regardless of the outcome of an investigation by another authority.
The 1988 amendments to the Fair Housing Act of 1968 prohibits discrimination A. on the basis of familial status, B. against persons with a mental impairment, C. against persons with a physical handicap, D. all of the above.
The correct answer is D, all of the above.
A minority customer makes a written offer to buy one of broker Jane's listed properties for all cash at the full listed price. If homeowner Paul refuses the offer when it is presented by broker Jane should A. sue Paul for a commission, B. tell Paul that he may be in violation of federal law by refusing the offer, C. advise the customer that he or she may contact HUD and file a complaint against Paul, D. all of the above.
The correct answer is D, all of the above.
Rancher Ralph asked broker Roger if he had any ranch land for sale in Hernando County, as he was interested in buying 300 acres. Broker Roger said he did not know of any for sale. Later, broker Roger contacted rancher Richard, who owned 640 acres in Hernando County, and told him about rancher Ralph's interest in buying 300 acres. But rancher Richard said he did not want to sell any of his land. Rancher Richard then contacted rancher Ralph and arranged to sell him the entire 640 acres. Which of the following applies? A. Broker Roger is entitled to the commission on the sale of 300 acres only. B. Broker Roger is entitled to a commission on the sale of all 640 acres. C. Neither rancher Ralph nor rancher Richard owes a commission. D. Broker Roger must sue in civil court to determine which rancher owes the commission.
The correct answer is C. Neither rancher Ralph nor rancher Richard owes a commission. A broker must show he or she was employed in order to claim a right to compensation.
An unlicensed secretary of a broker drove a customer to a listing and gave them a card that stated the price, terms, and conditions of sale. If the customer decided to make an offer on the listing when he returned to the office, which of the following statements would be correct? A. Only the secretary was in violation of the license law. B. Only the broker was in violation of the license law. C. Both the secretary and the broker were in violation of license law. D. Neither the secretary nor the broker was in violation of license law.
The correct answer is D. Neither the secretary nor the broker was in violation of the license law. No violation occurred since the secretary only gave the customer objective pre-printed information. However, unlicensed persons may not provide subjective answers to a customer's questions or allow customers to enter the property.
When an application for licensure has been denied, the Commission must A. Notify the applicant's broker immediately. B. Advise the applicant of the right to a hearing under Florida Statute 120. C. Send a copy of the notice to the DBPR and request a hearing. D. File a copy of the letter of denial in the county where the applicant resides.
The correct answer is B. Advise the principal of the right to a hearing under Florida Statute 120.
Broker Tim is holding a deed and other documents in his files relating to a transaction. A party to the transaction comes into the office and demands the documents. If Tim is not certain who the documents belong to, and the party threatens to sue Tim if he does not release them, Tim's initial response should be to A. Contact his attorney. B. Seek an escrow disbursement order from the Commission. C. File a suit of interpleader. D. Notify the Commission and provide the details of the situation.
The correct answer is D. Notify the Commission and provide the details of the situation. Whenever a broker is holding property belonging to another is uncertain concerning its disposition, the Commission's advice must be requested in writing within 30 days.
Broker Betty and her principal have a dispute prior to closing of a transaction as to the amount of commission due and when it is to be paid. Betty, A, may retain the amount of the claim commission in her escrow account until the dispute is settled. B, must retain the entire amount of the deposit in escrow until the dispute is settled. C, must deposit the escrowed funds with the registry of the court pending settlement. D, must withdraw the amount of the claim commission from the escrow account and retain it in her business account.
The correct answer is A, may retain the amount of the claimed commission in her escrow account until the dispute is settled.
A broker may deal at arm's length with A, everyone, B, principals only, C, no one, D, customers only.
The correct answer is C, no one. Dealing at arm's length, which means the same as caveat emptor or let the buyer beware, is an adversarial relationship. Licensees may not treat anyone as an adversary.
Which of the following is not a type of partnership defined by law? A, general, B, limited, C, ostensible, D, none of the above.
The correct answer is D, none of the above. Although an ostensible or quasi-partnership is not a true partnership, it is defined in the law and is treated as if it were a partnership.
What is the maximum number of years the Commission may impose suspension as a penalty for a first offense? A, 10, B, 7, C, 5, D, 2.
The correct answer is A, 10. The maximum period of suspension is 10 years and may be imposed by the Commission at its discretion for a first or subsequent offense.
Broker Wayne listed a cattle ranch outside Leesburg for $3.5 million. Since the costs of advertising and marketing the ranch were more than Broker Wayne had anticipated, he enlisted the help of Broker Nancy, who offered to pay half the costs and assist in the marketing if Broker Wayne would share any commission equally with her that resulted from the sale of the ranch. The brokers have formed A, limited partnership, B, general partnership, C, quasi-partnership, D, joint adventure.
The correct answer is D, joint adventure. A joint adventure is the same as a joint venture. It is a temporary business relationship created when two or more parties join for a single or predetermined number of transactions.
Which of the following is necessary to create a limited partnership? A, the partners must all be brokers, either active or inactive, and at least one must be actively licensed. B, register with the Department of Business and Professional Regulation. C, file a declaration with the Department of State. D, send a letter of intent to the FREC by certified mail.
The correct answer is C, file a declaration with the Department of State. Any business that has persons individually protected from liability is required to file documents with the Department of State disclosing the names of those persons. There is no reference in the question to licensing, therefore answers A and B are not appropriate.
Customer Harry, a former building contractor, and Customer Tony, a retired title searcher, were considering buying a parcel of land listed by Broker David. A contract was negotiated, but prior to closing, settling of the foundation and a cloud on title were discovered. Which of the following is most correct given this situation? A, brokers are not expected to be competent in construction or title matters. B, if David is made aware of these defects, he is obligated to disclose them. C, Broker David has a fiduciary duty to the seller and does not have to disclose defects to prospects capable of making their own investigations. D. Since Harry is a former contractor and Tony was a title searcher, David has no obligation to disclose these defects.
The correct answer is B. If David is made aware of these defects, he is obligated to disclose them.
A corporation may be dissolved by all but which of the following? A. Court order. B. Vote of a majority of the stockholders. C. Bankruptcy. D. Failure to file an annual report or pay the annual fee.
The correct answer is C. Bankruptcy.
Listening to these questions over and over again will increase your comprehension of the material. Remember, it's just as important to know why an answer is wrong as it is to know why one is right. Good luck on your state exam.
This concludes CD number 4.